Greetings, everyone. Namaste. I am Aakash Chowkase. I recently finished my doctoral study from Purdue University, United States. I am originally from India. My dissertation was titled Nurturing Concern for Others in Adolescence, a study of empathy, compassion, and pro-social behavior. In this study, my core argument was that just developing competence and task commitment is not enough in today's world. And I say that because today's world is rife with so many challenges. The world has always faced challenges, but today's problems are especially very different. And what's make them different is the hyper correctedness of human lives. We don't need another better example than COVID-19, which told us very loudly, hey, our lives are deeply interconnected. One virus from one place and 197 countries still going through waves of COVID-19. Our lives are deeply interconnected. And in this case, when my actions impact you and your actions impact me, when your actions impact me and my actions impact you, how are we not to care about each other? Can we afford that? I don't believe so. And that's why I put forth a framework for gifted educators. I believe that gifted education should focus on 3 C's: competence, task commitment, and concern for others. And I summarize this in 4 lines I wrote for my dissertation. Competence makes one efficient. We all use our competence in our lives to become exceptional. We all want to be exceptional, right? And that's why we use our competence to become exceptional. We also need commitment to become an expert. We can't become exceptional if we do not become expert at least one thing. However, what really makes us exceptional is our concern for others. That's development of empathy and compassion and resulting into pro-social behavior, thinking of others, benefiting them. So what I did was I developed an intervention, a 3-week intervention, a classroom-based intervention. It was for 3 months with 10 one-hour sessions. I conducted this intervention with adolescents, specifically with 6th, 7th, and 8th grade students. That is about 11 to 13 years of ages. I conducted the study in India with 4 teachers. So I worked with 4 teachers and they worked with students. What did we do? We included lessons on empathy, compassion, and pro-social behavior. We included various hands-on activities, classroom discussions, some polling activities, and also a field visit to a special setting. One of our groups visited a school for hearing impaired, and another of our group visited a low income neighborhood and a talent development program running in a low income neighborhood. In these interactions, through classroom sessions and the field visit, students learned about various social emotional learning skills, as we call them SEL skills. They included perspective taking, empathy, empathic concern to be precise, mindfulness, understanding and acknowledging a common human experience that we all go through. We all have similar aspirations. We all have similar dreams. We all want similar things. No one wants pain and no one wants sorrow in our lives. Everyone aspires the same things. Acknowledging that makes us humane. More importantly, we discuss kindness and gratitude. And most importantly, we discuss the interconnectedness of human and nature lives. Through this intervention, after the study, when I measured the this uh, uh, impact of this intervention, I found a significant effect of time on students' self-reported empathy, compassion, and pro-social behavior. Taken together, a concern for others. Through qualitative and quantitative analysis, I found that there is a possibility of developing our adolescents into a more concerned, more empathetic, more pro-social, and more compassionate individuals. Okay. And then I believe this work has many implications. And I want to talk to you all, especially the students out there who are listening to me today. I want to talk to you about this concept called as responsible leadership. Many of you, I believe, aspire to be leaders. I'm sure you're great at what you do. You have a lot of competence. I'm sure you're also very sincere, dedicated individuals. You have expertise in your area, or you're developing expertise in your area. Now, when you couple it with a concern for others, you have a chance to become what we call a responsible leader. All of us make different choices about our lives, don't we? But when we realize our choices don't only affect ourselves, but also others, and especially those that are far from ourselves, our use of plastic, our use of vehicles, even our talk on social media has far greater consequences for many others out there. We don't even realize it all the time. Then do you think we have a choice to not care about others? Do you think we can afford to only think about ourselves and not about others? More importantly, do you think it is okay to just think about our generation and not about the future of this planet? Do you think we should only think about our city, our country, our state, our community, when our actions impact others out there? I believe the answer is a big, big no. So therefore, those, and I believe many of you will be those people I'm talking about, those of you who will be in leadership positions will have to make so many choices that will impact others. And therefore, those of you who are going to be leaders, and I'm sure every one of you will be leading in your own areas, should assume responsibility not only towards stakeholders and beneficiaries and business and just care about money, but also assume responsibility toward people, society, and Mother Nature. Because when we are talking about gains, we are no more in a situation in the world that we can talk about financial gains. We have to think about our impact on everyone else. Can we become more responsible leaders? And how can we become more responsible leaders? I want to say 5 things. One, a responsible leader is being able to make ethical judgments about existing norms and rules. That is questioning unethical practices around us, questioning unethical norms around us, gathering courage to speak up. And that brings me to the second point. A responsible leader displays moral courage and aspires to bring about a positive change, taking a stand against not just realizing what's wrong, but also displaying the courage, understanding the trade-off, and willing to take the risk to stand against immoral things. We are seeing multiple wars in the world today. We know things are happening that are wrong. We know many small activities that are happening around us. Think about wildlife conservation efforts. Why are those needed? Because if we lose species, it's going to impact the entire balance of our nature. So we need to display moral courage in our leadership roles. Third, engaging in long-term thinking, not just in short-term gains. And especially this requires taking perspective of the other person, putting yourself in the shoes of other people and gauging harms of what would my team's impact be on others, right? So that is engaging in long-term thinking, not just about people, but also about the planet. Fourth, communicating effectively. The essence is in communication. People forget what happened, but people always remember how they were treated, how they were communicated with. So how we communicate with others, especially stakeholders, building trust, maintaining transparency, this is good business. We are realizing business is not just about financial gains. It's about gaining trust with all the stakeholders. And even those who are not the consumers of our products. Why? Because when the society is not accepting something or some product that you developed is detrimental to the health of the society, society will probably retaliate when it realizes the undercurrents. A responsible leader thinks about this in long term and communicates effectively in last, and most importantly, participates in collective problem solving, involves all parties that may be affected. You might be able to look at so many challenges indigenous people across the globe face. Most of the leaders do not consult the local indigenous communities when they are making big decisions that would hurt the indigenous communities across the world. If you want to be exceptional, you must consider their perspective, engage them with you in collecting problem solving. Is there any benefit to being this person? You might think this is bad for business, this is bad for financial gains. I would like to say responsible leaders are perceived as more effective compared to other leaders who don't care. Others want to work with such responsible leaders, and responsible teams positively contribute to the society. They contribute to present day challenges such as climate change. On the background of the challenges the world is facing today and will face tomorrow, our only hope is probably the leaders who work and act responsibility. Sorry. In the world that's rife with challenges, our probably only hope today is those responsible leaders that are listening to me. Let me say this again. In the world rife with challenges, our only best hope is probably the responsible leaders, those of you who are listening to me. Thank you.